I grew up in Dudley, in the West Midlands. Yeah, a lot of people grow up there because that's the only thing there is to do. What are you doing? Growing. In the 50s, my parents emigrated from Jamaica to Dudley. Yeah, Nancy, I'm going to say that again just for you. They emigrated from Jamaica to Dudley. Why? What was my dad thinking? Bloody blue sky all the time. I want hail and sleet and snow. All this joyous reggae music. Where can a man get some Des O'Connor? We need pack your bags, we're going to Dudley. They made me go to church every Sunday. The Pentecostal Church of God in Prophecy. See, that's a black name. White churches are always called things like St. Thomas's. We're all outside going, St. Thomas's what? St. Thomas's Epiphany of the Shining Light of God in Christ in West Bromwich? Now, that's a name. You arrived late for church. Sorry I'm late, I was reading the signs. It's as good as Stephen King. I went to Blue Coat Secondary Modern School in Dudley. A lot of bullying there. I mean, you know, back in the day it was different as well. You get punched in the face, you keep it to yourself. Nowadays you go straight to the head teacher. Peter Wilkins has been punching me every day since the start of term. I'm not going to teach him anymore. I got a daughter, 17. She's got a pet name for me. Taxi. Yeah, because the only time I see her is in the car, and even then she gets in the back. I'm like, how was school? She's like, you're not one of those cabbies who's going to talk all the time, are you? Her childhood's different from mine. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, it felt like everybody in Dudley had permission to beat me. It wasn't just my mum. You know, I'd be mucking about in the street, suddenly, bam, Mrs. Fearon from number 14 slapped me around the face. Then she'd drag me to my house and tell my mum, Mrs. Henry, I saw Len misbehaving in the street, so I beat him for you. Do you know what my mother said to this woman? Thank you very much. I have 6 other children, help yourself anytime. We made a documentary in Dudley about my mom last year. My brother Paul said this on camera, no word of a lie. Lynn, when mom used to beat you, we used to think it was really funny. Bastards! Where's the solidarity in that? I'm getting my arse tore up, they're eating popcorn, they've pulled up chairs. Oh, it's not as funny as last week. Mom, work the ribs now, work the ribs. Mom, Ali Shuffle, remember? Ali, Boombaye. Mom, like Popeye, remember? Fabida, 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 fabida. When Mom used to beat me, she always said the same thing. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own good. What parents are insane? I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own good. All the white people, what kind of parenting is that? Lamar's like, yeah, me too. Oh, man. You know what I'd like to see on television? Jamaican super nanny. Beat him if it's been bad, beat him if it's been good. Beat him to show how much you love him. Beat him till your arms hurt so much. You have to beat him for making your arms hurt so much. She wouldn't mess about, would she? All right, no. This is what I call the naughty cheer. What's that for? You pick it up and you beat him with it. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own rotten good.
Tell me, does anyone here own a cat? Your houses stink. Someone's got to tell them. Some people like cats, some people don't. I was reading the other day, apparently the Pope, he's a cataholic. Catholic. I've had an interesting job recently. I pretended to be a Spanish dentist. Thanks, that doesn't normally work. They said about me that I was too immature to be a father, but when I saw the first few seconds of my son's life, I thought to myself, he's naked. When my daughter was born, she had jaundice. So there she was, small, round, and yellow. We called her Melanie. My parents came up last weekend because I keep them in the cellar. That's not true. I don't know who they are. See, when I was young, I used to walk through the front door. I was hit by roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, open the airing cupboard, spaghetti bolognese all over me. We literally didn't know where the next meal was coming from. My grandparents, their names are Pearl and Dean. Of course, we just know them as Gran and Grandpapa, Papa, 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 Papa. Any students here? Your houses stink. Someone's got to tell them. Don't talk to me about unemployment. I come from a tiny fishing village in Derbyshire. It's not near the sea.
So I'm a single mum, right? And whatever people say, it is different than being a single dad. Because women see single dads and go, oh, he's so good with his kids. Isn't he coping wonderfully? Oh, he's so good with his children. I must have sex with him now. Whereas men see single mums and they go, run him out, baggage! I went on a date with a guy that called my little boy baggage. He's 3. He's not baggage. He's hand luggage. He just fits in the overhead lockers. It's kind of perfect. Recently, my brother said, look, Shap, you've been separated for ages now. You really need to find yourself a new fella. Why don't you go on the internet? Because my brother found his girlfriend on the internet. I think it was eBay. So I joined an internet website, and to my surprise, right, on the online form that you had to fill in, one of the things you had to tick to see who you wanted was racial preference. And it said white, Caucasian, 3 boxes, not important, decidedly important, absolutely crucial. And I thought that's a little bit weird because your photo's up there in the first place, so you can just be racist in private. You know, why hurt anyone's feelings, right? So I want to show you this. I wrote an email to the administrator of this website. I wrote him an email, basically, in a nutshell, going, what are you on, mate? And he wrote back, going, the choices we provide on our matching algorithms, I had to look that word up, nothing to do with sex, are for our users to find the perfect match. They are in no way indicative of someone being racist at all. White, Caucasian, absolutely crucial. Right, so I wrote back going, shut up, a bit more coherently than that. And then he wrote back and said, some people are more stringent than others when it comes to finding a partner. Doesn't that sound like a real dig at me? Like, oh, you'd shag any old colour. We merely help them find the right person by enabling them to measure height, weight, occupation, level of income, and ethnicity. Thing is, height, weight, occupation, level of income, they're all things that can be measured. How do you measure ethnicity? I had no idea how to measure my own when I was filling out the form. I had to look on a Dulux colour chart. Turns out I'm natural calico. This correspondence went on for quite a while, right? And tell me if you think I went too far. Eventually, I sent him a copy of the Nuremberg race laws. I'm not saying that this website is a Nazi organisation. I just think we should nip things in the bud at source. He wrote back to me and said, "Dear Shappy, I've enjoyed our correspondence. I have now noticed your name is Shappy Corsandi. Might you be the same Shappy Corsandi I saw on the Michael McIntyre Comedy Roadshow? If so, I am single." And I wondered if you'd like to go for a coffee. Won't this be a funny story to tell our kids? Smiley face. I wrote back. I said, "Thank you so much for your email. I'm very flattered. However, I've noticed your name is James Chowdhury. Little bit too brown for me."
The most sexually adventurous thing I ever did, I did it when I was single. When I was single, I ordered the #1 vibrator on the Love Honey website. And the Love Honey website is a sex toy website, for those of you pretending not to know. I kind of ordered it out of spite, right? Because one of my exes called me a prude, which I think is such an extreme thing to call someone. I don't think I did anything to warrant that. The only thing I can think of maybe is once I said that I don't like morning sex. That's not a big deal. That doesn't mean that I'm not sex positive. I just don't think you should do something that disgusting in the morning. Not whilst the blackbird is singing his morning tune. But I went on the website. It was late at night. I just ordered the first one on the list because I thought that would be good. That would probably be quite nice. The thing that arrived is so terrifying. It plugs directly into the wall. It has one of those on the end of it. It uses mains electricity. It needs to be pat tested. I just find that so threatening, because I think what that's basically saying is, what I'm about to do to you couldn't possibly be done with a battery. I'm gonna need that same stuff that powers your fridge. It's huge, it's bigger than this. It looks like a piece of farming equipment from the Industrial Revolution. But it's called a wand. There is nothing magical about it. I've never seen this type of vibrator before. All the vibrators that I've seen advertised online are very small and portable, and they're not making big claims. They're just happy to live in your bedside drawer, and they'll be there like, "Okay, girl, I'm here if you need me." Like, if you and your partner get like super, super drunk one night, maybe you could experiment with me for a little bit. Honestly, I might not do anything, but I might speed things along for you a little bit. Either way, no worries if not. Whereas my vibrator is just next to the bed like, "Do you want to meet God?" Not really. It doesn't even fit in the bedside drawer. It's just curled up on the floor like a python. And after it arrived, I was like, is this the right thing? Because I checked on the website, because I thought maybe it got mixed up with like an order meant for Guantanamo Bay. It was the right thing. Not only that, I read the description for the first time. It said in the description, "This is the world's most powerful vibrator." I don't think I need that. I need absolute max, a whisper on the wind. The world's most powerful vibrator. You shouldn't be able to buy that without a license. Underneath as well, it said, "The vibrator will turn off automatically after 20 minutes for your safety." 21 minutes and there's a danger of death. I don't even want to share. It cost £90. So I felt like I had to try it because I spent so much money. And I don't even have a plug next to my bed. I had to get the extension cable. That felt desperate. I turned it onto the lowest setting. It had 8 settings. I turned it onto setting 1. It was so loud. I was like, there's nothing private about this experience. The neighbours are going to think I'm having a new kitchen put in. At midnight, they're going to call the council. Well, no, they're not calling anyone. They don't have any power right now. I tried it just for like 1, maybe 2 seconds, and I was like, I can smell burning. I can't use this thing. It's going to sand me down. It's going to erode. I'm going to be flat over. There'll be nothing left like Barbie. But it had 8 settings. I thought, I have to see what setting 8 does. Not on myself. I know my limits. I just turned it up to setting 8 in the sky. Fuck me. I was like, I'm going to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
American consumerism is based on just taking out late-night ads and pretending that you're mentally deficient. Just screaming at the top of your voice. Come on down to Wally's World of Mortgages. That's right, we've got mortgages. I'm crazy. The boss left with the keys. I'm by the safe. I don't even work here. We're going to give you a mortgage. Even if you never heard of the word mortgage, come on down here, we're going to give you one. Can't pay us back, won't pay us back, we don't give a shit. Even if you're a trailer park crack whore popping babies out of your womb like self-rising biscuits, come on down here now, you're a homeowner. People go take advantage of that guy. He seems nuts. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular, whole infomercial devoted to the biggest piece of shit ever perpetrated on the public. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular. You can have a washboard stomach in 12. Who needs a washboard stomach? Gonna play hillbilly bluegrass music right off your stomach there? It's shit! Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. I used to pummel vaguely Middle Eastern looking guys for a living. Now I'm selling this piece of shit Velcro nailed to an old ski. Flip it over, it's a canoe. Turn it inside out, it's a lady's evening dress. It's shit! You can have it by tomorrow. Of course you can, because it's a big piece of shit. That's what we do in America. We make lots of crap, but we deliver it really, really fast. Good things come to those who wait, but shit pretty much shows up right away, doesn't it? Pick up the phone. I like the Ad Crunch, bing bong. That was fast. Wacka, 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 wacka. I'd love to tell you things are better in America, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, I don't really know. It's, we have a fantastic president, but most Americans just want to see his birth certificate. Show us your birth certificate, Obama. Because, you know, I know there was I watched the elections here, and I kind of watched them. I kept an eye on them. I didn't get the full brunt of it. Basically, I left the country for a while. Gordon Brown was in charge. I came back. Now, apparently, the country's being led by 2 gay antiques dealers. I don't know how that happened. But at least they're getting along. As Americans, let me explain it to you. There's 2 parties in America. You probably know this. There's Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are called the red states. Democrats are the blue states. The blue states are generally either on the West Coast or on the Atlantic seaboard. So basically, Democrat is anyone who's seen water. So you go to America, find a Republican, and take him to the beach. And even the Republicans hate each other now. So they have a splinter group called the Teabaggers, the Tea Party, Teabaggers, whose leader, of course, is Sarah Palin, future presidential candidate, who spent 2 years governing 8,000 square miles of snow and would occasionally nip out at lunch to blow the head off a moose from 300 yards away. That's presidential material. Another woman who's moved to the forefront, running for a senator from Delaware, named Christine O'Donnell, who's running on a platform of anti-masturbation. She actually wants to make masturbation illegal. I give that law 6 minutes. Because the Bible says it's wrong. These are her exact words. Well, if my husband has figured out how to please himself, why am I in the picture? I got news for you. You're not. No man ever whacked one out of the ballpark thinking of his wife, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be thinking of anything. You'd be thinking of a 300-pound Bavarian milkmaid strapped over a barrel, or you banger with a kayak paddle wearing a Burger King paper crown and making a call you Mr. King Big Daddy Spanky Bottom. As you're about to shoot a ropey parabola of man jizz onto her ham hock buttocks, David Hasselhoff walks in dressed as a Luftwaffe pilot and says you've got a tax refund coming. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. But as much as you want to save animals, I'm pretty sure you're not going to do it by buying cosmetics. Pretty sure you can't walk into the body shop and buy some burdock root peppermint oil foot scrub, and some little badger somewhere in Scotland is going to go, wow, I feel a whole lot better about my life right now. Somebody's buying that burdock root peppermint oil foot scrub. I don't see the point in testing cosmetics on rabbits anyway, because they're already cute. Slather some lip gloss and eyeliner all over them. Now they're all gussied up like some $3 whore. There's no dignity in that for a rabbit whatsoever. You want to test out cosmetics? Test them out on big game, because they stink. Get up under a hippopotamus there and get some roll-on deodorant under his armpit. See how fresh and self-assured he stays all day, huh? Little lip gloss on a beaver. Real beaver. Stay with me, fella. Real beaver. Right? Dam-building, log-eating beaver. If he's charged through 60 logs and he's still wearing that lip gloss, that's some damn good lip gloss right there, ladies and gentlemen. You know this whole thing about, you ever meet someone famous and you tell your friends, and then they say, well, what was he like? Because all they really want to hear is that he was a prick. So they like to say Tom Cruise is the nicest guy in Hollywood. And I always think, well, if I was making $8 million a film, I'd be nice too. Jesus Christ. But I'm not sure he is that nice. Because I always read these articles about how he's so insular and he's into his Scientology and he, stays at a hotel, won't make eye contact with anyone in the hotel because he doesn't want to talk about the plots to his new films. Apparently, as if staring Tom Cruise in the face, he would just crack under pressure. What are you staring at? Hey, you want to hear about my new film? You ever seen a Tom Cruise film like he couldn't figure out the plot in about 18 seconds? Oh, Christ. He's a cocktail maker. He's a pretty good cocktail maker, too. Till he has a crisis of confidence and can't make cocktails anymore. Then he meets a good-looking woman who talks him into being a better cocktail maker. A riveting piece of cinema that was. Then he's a race car driver. Pretty good race car driver, too. Till he has a crisis of confidence. Can't race cars anymore. Then he meets a good-looking woman who talks him into being a better race car driver. Then he's a jet pilot. Some of you are starting to see a pattern emerge here. Pretty good jet pilot? Yes, he was. Until he had a crisis of confidence, couldn't fly jets anymore. Then I believe he met a good-looking woman who talked him into being a better jet pilot. Then he was a sports agent. Then he was the brother of a retarded guy. He was a pretty good brother of a retarded guy until he had a crisis of confidence and wasn't so sure he was such a good brother of a retarded guy. And then he met a good-looking woman who talked him into being a better brother of a retarded guy. Then he was some kind of, I don't know what he's in now, War of the Worlds. Maybe he fights the world. And you know what? I bet he's a pretty good world fighter. But at some point he'll probably have a crisis of confidence. You're going to meet a good-looking woman who convinces him it's okay to fight the world. Could be a Scrabble player for all I care. He's a pretty good Scrabble player. Until he draws all vowels. Has a crisis of consonants. And he meets a lovely Welsh woman who teaches him a lot of words he's never heard before.
That's the thing is, like, I've met some crazy people and with some crazy ideologies. One of the craziest people I met, and the funniest, were these guys called the Black Israelites. If you don't know the Black Israelites, right, it's a group of black dudes in New York, right, and they think the black man's the original Jew, right? They think the white man's the devil. I mean, look, they have a point, right? And they think Jesus, right, is coming back to put white people in slavery, right? Which, look, I think is messed up. Because I think white people would make terrible slaves. Do you know what I'm saying? You whip them once, they run to the manager. You try and give them bread and water. Is it gluten-free? No. It's not gluten-free. I know some old white woman making my dinner and stuff like, Margaret, if you make me another shepherd's pie, I'm going to sell your ass. The sandwich porch. Start selling people. I don't know. I get called a lot of stuff now. Especially with the internet, I get called tons of stuff. I get called racist words, and I get called racist for making jokes about white people. I just want to say my mom's white. I have one at home. She's fine. I have no issues with white people. Love white people, right? But everyone calls me mad things. And I'll be honest with you, when you get called a lot of stuff, you have to have like thick skin. You can't let it bother you, because it'll just get you down if you always listen to that stuff. And it's never bothered me, except for one time. Someone said something about me, and it just really basically, someone called me middle class, and it just really... I threw my avocado on the floor. I was perturbed. I was like, mother, take this away. I can't finish this avocado. I ain't middle class, I'm not you. I'm from Ilford, man. If you don't know Ilford, it's in between East London. Don't you cheer Ilford, goddammit. Ilford is horrible. It's in between East London and hell. That's where Ilford is. Don't want to go Ilford, right? And it's that weird thing. It's like you work hard and then people think they can take away your identity from you. And that's like a weird point. It's like you can't be working class because you've worked hard. You get to play lovely gigs like this. You can't be what you are. And the thing is, like, I am working class in my heart. But there's a conflict. My brain says different sometimes. You know? Like, sometimes my friends will call me from prison. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. They'll call me up and they'll be like, yo, Jamali, you need to start repping for the mandem. And I go, you know what? I need to start repping for the mandem. They say, you need to start saying free the mandem. I'm like, you know what? I need to start saying free the mandem. And that's in my heart. I believe that. We should free the mandem. But then my brain goes, yes, Jamali. But now you have stuff they want to steal. So I'm like, yeah, free the mandem. If they've completed the course, maybe. I don't know. Free them up if they've, if they've repented. I don't know. If they ring me up, they'll be like, yo, say free Ginger J. Free Ginger J. Say free Worm. Is Worm still locked up? You better free him. Say free Killer. Nah, I don't know about Killer, man. I'm not saying we should never free Killer, just don't free him where I live. Because I live in a nice gentrified area now, just what I'm saying. So it's like, and I'm angry at gentrification, but it's hard because it's delicious. I'm drinking my latte going, oh, these hipsters, do you know? Like, so yeah, free hit Killer, but just not where I live, not in my community. Because gentrification is a weird one, because does anyone remember when London was shit? Like, Hammersmith was shit. None of you would have been able to be here. It was that bad. It was never Peckham shit. Peckham was shit. I go as far as Bethnal Green and look at Peckham through a telescope. That's as far as I go. But gentrification is a weird one, because can we disagree that you see, like, middle-class hipsters that moved to the ghetto pre-gentrification are some of the most bravest people in the world? Only a hipster can go to the hood and go, no, I see potential. Seriously.
I was on holiday recently. I was on an all-inclusive. We all love an all-inclusive holiday, don't we? Oh, aye. Chips and gateau for breakfast. Yes. I always think it's amazing. I can always identify where people are from on an all-inclusive holiday. It's fascinating for me. Like, the Italians. You can always tell the Italians because they could put on a bag of rags and look amazing. Then you can see the Germans, and they're quiet, and they're reserved. And then there's us, the British. That's interesting, isn't it? Because we all want to become pals with each other. I've had a pen pal in Woking for 25 years that I met in Lanzarote. But it was a really, really interesting for me because there's a way I can always tell if someone is from the south of England on holiday. And it's I don't need to hear your accent, nothing. The way, number one, I will tell if you are from the south of England is it will be 9 o'clock at night. It's 28 degrees. The moon and the stars are out. And you come out wearing a wee jumper. Because it gets a bit chilly. It's 28 degrees. The moon's out. I'm Scottish. I'm like, past the factor 50 hen. I do not trust the moon burn. Get me the factor 50. Then there's another way I can always tell someone is from the south of England. You and I are on an all-inclusive holiday. We can eat as much as we want. And they will go to the bar and they will order a half pint. No, you can't order a half pint in Scotland. Next time you visit Scotland, try and order a half pint. That is one of the most tense conversations you will ever have. About 3 months ago, I went to a bar in my home city of Glasgow, and I says to the barman, can I have 2 pints of lager and a half pint of lager? And he looked at me, and he went, what was that? I said, it's 2 pit. He went, no. Just the last one. I went, it's just a half pint of lager, mate. Hold on. Come here. Tell him. Just the last one. I went, it's just a half pint of lager. Is that for you? It's for my pal. Huh? Are they on antibiotics? Are they pregnant? Would they like a colouring book and crayons with that?
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which is just change. Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? Come to... I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. The equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
We need to bring back a sense of consequences for our actions. In this world, there are no more consequences for actions, yeah? And what I'm talking about, if there's no consequences in this life, what we need to do is bring back to Britain a simple sense of hell. The idea that if we screw up in this life, right, we will burn in sulphur for all eternity in the next life. Now, this is quite a tough sell, right? You don't like that idea, do you? Right, but hear me out, this is a good idea. We got any Christians present? I need your assistance. Any Christian people here this evening? Yeah, in the pink shirt. What's your name, son? Josh. Fantastic. You're a Christian? So you understand the idea of redemption, eternity, yeah? Resurrection, eternity in particular. And I do too. I understand the notion of eternity because I went to church on Sunday. Let me tell you this, that service went on forever. If it took me an hour to open a bottle of wine, I'd be drummed out of business. Now, the point is this. How long does it take to own a packet of crisps? Get on with it. Now, we need to bring back... Now, the problem with the idea of hell is no one's frightened of it. Now, I'm going to describe hell for you now, and none of you are going to bat an eyelid, right? And while your body's boiling in mouldering in the grave, we'll take your soul and boil it in boiling oil for 1,000 millennium. Then after that, 2 sulphurous demons, emissaries of Satan himself, will come along, pull out your kidneys and set fire to them on the red-hot coals of hell itself. Then after this, another demon will come along, pull out your eyeballs, stick them on a red-hot poker, burn them on the hot coals of hell, and stick them up your arsehole, and they'll come out your own mouth with the shit on it. And this will go on forever. So you're not bothered by that, are you? In fact, most of you are laughing at it. Huh? In fact, most of us, being British, are thinking, well, come on then! Call yourself the devil! And that's the interesting thing about hell, isn't it? When you describe it, when someone describes hell, it tells you everything you need to know about that person, right? And what he's like and what his people are like. And I describe hell then in a normal British accent, which tells you that we, the British, are stoic, tough people who could take absolutely bloody anything. And that's the interesting thing about hell. It tells you about the people telling you about it. Hell, in a French accent, for instance, sounds like a recipe. And while the body is lying down and the worms inside the flesh, we take out the soul and place it in very hot oil for a long time. Then, once it is tender, 2 demons come together at once, remove the kidneys and place them on the hot coals with a little white wine vinegar, some sea salt, and some rosemary, and cook them till they're brown on the outside, but still pink in the middle. Then after this, we take the eyeballs, place them on the hot coals, cook them till they're crunchy on the outside, runny in the middle, on the hot poker, stick them up the arse, they come out the mouth with the shit on. It is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Hey, you see? Perverts! Perverts, basically, yeah? Hell. Hell in a Dutch accent sounds like a pretty good stag do, doesn't it? Hey, and while your body is lying down, we'll take you to the hottest place you can imagine. Imagine the hottest place you can go, yeah? Now go even hotter. And 2 demons will come together and rub oil all over your body. 2 demons together. 2 demons together at once, and then you would take out your kidneys. Oh, your hot kidneys. Your hot kidneys. And place the kidneys in a hot place and cook the kidneys till they're hard, until your kidneys are hard. And then take out your eyeballs and stick them in your bum hole. And this will cost you 45 euros. Hey, are you ready? Sounds like an agreeable weekend.
There's other younger people in the room, right? You know what I mean. You have only ever known a time in your life when you're trying not to get pregnant or trying not to get somebody else pregnant. And I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but on both accounts, I fucking smashed it. I think it comes down to skill set at the end of the day, doesn't it? People are just good at different things. Some people are good at the violin. Some people are good at parallel parking. I was very good at taking the pill. Every day, every day, every day. Honestly, I used to think I was so good at taking the pill, I deserved a reward. Arguably, there was a reward. It was the reward of not having to watch Peppa Pig or cleaning up another human's shit. Tell you what I don't understand, right, is women who are on the pill and forget to take it. Don't get that, because don't get me wrong, I forget things. I forget my keys, my wallet, the fact I'm married. Sure! But forgetting to take something that can prevent you from creating a human that could one day say, turn the machines off, is what she would have wanted. I'm going to remember that one, thank you. Obviously does happen, though. Women forget to take the pill, they get knocked up. Happened to a girl I used to work with, actually, when I used to work in an office, right? And we were chatting about it one day. She was so blasé. We're in the kitchen. She's just standing there rubbing her belly like, well, the thing is, I've just got really bad memory. I was thinking, that's funny, because every day without fail, you remember to steal my milk. Maybe if you'd strapped your packet of microgynon to my semi-skimmed... Stephen in accounts wouldn't be telling everyone how you trapped him. But I think the reason I was always very good at remembering to take the pill, because I've been on it for so long. I was on it since I was about 16. And the reason I started taking it was because I was going out with my first boyfriend, Kevin Sutherland. A boom, chicka, wow, wow. He was quite the catch. He had a Peugeot 106 and a tattoo of Bart Simpson, which I thought showed a great joie de vivre. And things were going very well between Kevin and I. We had matching bracelets from Argos, so you can tell how serious we were. And we'd agreed that we were going to do it for the first time, right? So I was like, right, I'll put myself on the pill because my first time is going to be really special. My first time is going to be just like in the movies. So the big day arrived, and Kevin, bless him, he made such an effort for everything to be really perfect. Like, he paid his little brother to leave the room. To this day, the most romantic thing a man has ever done for me. And he made a mix CD of all of our favourite romantic songs. You know, like Boom, 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 Let Me Hear You Say Wayo. And as we lay down on his single bed, with his Liverpool FC duvet cover on it, the scent of Lynx Africa heavy in the air. And as Kevin took my virginity so beautifully and gently and quickly from behind, I remember thinking, wow, just like in the movies. Obviously, it's quite difficult to make eye contact in that position, isn't it? Almost felt like I lost my virginity to Stephen Gerrard. I'll never walk alone. I never will.
I read this thing, right, online, so it must be true, where everyone who's under the age of 30 is going to live till 160. Like, you look tired now. 160! I don't want to be sat in a flat, leaking, liver spotted. Your ears and nose, they never stop growing. I'm going to be sat there looking like I work at bloody Gringotts Bank, just like... And I think if I get to 160, I'm ending it. I don't know how you do it. What are you going to do? Sort of suffocate yourself with a bag for life? I reckon the best way, and maybe like a toaster in a bath situation, but it'd be one of those like sit-down baths with a chair and a door, and then you have to wait for it all to fill up. You put in a bit of matey for a last bit of luxury, and then you go, oh shit, I forgot the toaster, and then you have to wait for it all to drain. You open the door, you go out onto the landing, down a stair lift, into the kitchen, you go, what the bloody hell have I come in here for? It's never going to happen. I'm trying to do more nice things, though. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I've never really done anything with my life. I did a thing recently. I went to go and give blood for the first time. Has anyone ever done that? It's just one woman like, yeah, I did it today. It's amazing, but I thought you did it in like a hospital or like a sanitised medical centre. You don't. You do it in like a rugby club or like a methadone church, right? I turned up to this bingo hall near my nan's house, right? I was greeted by the second moodiest person I've ever seen in my life. It was a woman called Linda. Like, her name badge said Jean, but she looked like a Linda. Do you know what I mean? Like short bob, gelled fringe, good at darts. She weren't happy. She weren't... I turned up, she goes, have you got an appointment? And I went, no. And she goes, have you filled out a form? And I went, no. And then she threw this form at me, and as I'm walking off, she goes, "Thank you very much for giving blood. We really appreciate it. Giving blood is the greatest gift anyone could ever receive." And I'm thinking, Linda's never been given a slow cooker. So, take this form, I start filling it out. I had to use this woman's eyeliner because Linda wouldn't lend me a pen. Just filling it all out. And as I said, the only reason I went to go and give blood is make myself feel like I'd done something with my life. And instead, I'm faced with all these very serious adult questions. It was things like, have you ever been to Africa? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a man? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a prostitute? And I thought, I've done fucking nothing with my life. Nothing. Have you injected drugs? Have you smoked drugs? Have you had any treatments in the last 6 months? I panicked. I went, oh, well, me and my mum have had facials off Groupon. Not the right answer. Weirdest question, are you HIV positive? I was like, what? Like, no. Like, if anything, I'm against it. And then they took me off into this room, and there's all these sort of like Sharons and Johns lay on beds with sort of needles in their arms. Like, it looked like a spa day for smackheads. Put a belt round my arm, not even a nice belt. They spanked it a bit, they told me to relax, and then they whipped out the biggest flipping needle I've ever seen in my life, and I just fainted. Completely fainted. I can hear all these muffled voices, and then I can hear Linda's bellowing voice just going, I knew he'd be a fainter. I'm like... By the time I'd come around, all these people are trying to help me out, and Linda just parted them. And her way of trying to make me feel better, her way of trying to make me feel like a proper grown-up was going, would you like a glass of orange juice and a biscuit? I was like, no, Linda, I want to have sex with an African gay man for money. That's what I want to bloody do.
It's lovely to be here. I've come all the way from Brighton. Just in case you're wondering what this haircut is about. Might be a new face for some of you people. Don't panic, the BBC invited me here because they needed a beige lesbian. So I'm just here to tick some boxes. Not your box, madam, just a metaphorical box. I'm half Spanish, that's what's happening there. I've got a Spanish mum, and she lives here in the UK. It's all very legal. She's lived longer in the UK than she's ever lived in Spain, but the brilliant thing about my mum is that she's never lost her accent. She talks very, very quickly. She talks lots of words she cannot pronounce. Lots of words she cannot pronounce, huh? My favourite word that my mum's never been able to pronounce is my brother's name. A difficult name. His name's Stephen. I don't know if you've noticed this. Spanish people, any word that begins with the letter S, they struggle, right? So my mum doesn't call him Stephen. She calls him Steven. What's his name, Mum? Steven. Is it? Isn't it just Stephen? Even if I know his name is my son, it is Steven! You don't want to mess with my mum. She's not like British people here in this country. We can be quite passive-aggressive, can't we? She's just a very aggressive woman. I don't know how my mum's never really coped in this country, and I think it's because, like a lot of Mediterranean people, she's quite loud, yeah? She's got one volume. It's like this. Whereas in this country, particularly if we're middle class, we tend to be low talkers, don't we? We don't like to raise our voices, do we? Why? Because we've got money. And we just assume that if you are raising your voice, well, you're probably poor. Or worse, foreign. Great thing about having a Mediterranean mum is they feed you. Oh, my God. She's always feeding. That's her way of showing that she loves her children, is to feed us. You know, I can remember going around friends' houses, you know, like English mums. Go around an English mum's house and the conversation with mum's more like this. I think you've had enough. My mum will feed you till you puke. Anything could be going on in my life and my mum will relate it back to a meal that she's cooked. Do you know what I mean? Like, so good or bad, particularly if I'm depressed. If I phone up my mum and I've had a terrible day, yeah? I phone up my mum, conversation always goes like this. Oh, Jennifer, my God, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a hard time right now. But you know what? Don't worry, okay? I made a soup. Come home. You sound hungry. I made chicken curry, made a lamb tagine, made a casserole, Jennifer. I made some tortillas, some paella, some curry, Jennifer. You love the curry. Maybe some meatballs, some pork ball, beef ball, aniseed ball, banana ball. You're a lesbian. You don't eat enough balls. Please, come home. Eat my balls.
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, oh, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which is just change. Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. The equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
I've made a list of pros and cons because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. It doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it?
Pro, increased plug socket access. 1-1. I say increased. It's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that formed the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer. Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. Be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a few impressions for you. You'll almost definitely get them, because I'm not being arrogant, but they're absolutely brilliant. So when you know what they are, just shout out what they are, and have a bloody good time, OK? And there's a few Christmas ones in here, so let's see if you know what these are. So here we go. Impression number 1. Sellotape, absolutely nailed it. There we go. Thank you very much. OK, impression number 2. Parcel tape, yes! AKA me on Christmas Eve when I realised I haven't got any sellotape. There's always one little terrorist present in the corner, isn't there? From my uncle or cousin who doesn't have any sellotape. Oh, that's me, baby. OK, so impression number 3.
Gaffer tape.
What? Say that again, Matt. Gorilla? I'm not sure if that's a heckle or an answer. It is Gorilla Tape, yeah, it is Gorilla Tape, so there you go. And it's not just tapes I do, because that would be absolutely mental, wouldn't it? Would it? I also do other things, so what about this? Dolphin, there you go, absolutely nailed it, there we go. Oh, wow. When I say it's not just tape impressions, I mean it is just tape impressions and a dolphin. What we'll do now is we'll do tape karaoke. So if you name a sticky adhesive tape, I'll do an impression of it. And that should see us through to the end of the year, actually. Yeah, the end of the year. So it's a sticky adhesive tape they've all heard of. Don't try and be cocky, but ticker tape. Wait a minute! Like ticker tape, tapeworm, VHS tape, sex tape, none of those, okay? Sticky adhesive tape that we've all heard of, I'll do an impression of it. One at a time. Duct tape. Do you want 10 or 15 mil, mate? 15, okay. In the trade, or a pervert, we'll never know. Here we go. There we go. So 15 mil duct tape is... There it is, okay. I would absolutely love a girlfriend. Okay. A few more, then we'll crack on the jokes. Oh, is that that? Double-sided. Oh, that's a lovely one. A double-sided one. So double-sided is just a... Oh, bloody hell. And then it's the pullback. Okay, here we go. Stop here. Few more. Insulation. That's a brilliant one. Next one. Insulation tape. Actually, not that strong adhesive. It's just a... Yeah, they're not all funny. Okay, all right. It's up to you. Genuinely, you've missed out a few of my favourites. You've missed out Scotch tape, which is... Get out of the pub! It's just an aggressive tape. That's a steady old tape. Steady old tape. Nah, it don't really work, does it? And this is the last one. No more requests. This is for you, sir, if that's okay. So here we go. You ready? So here we go. It was a dolphin suffocating on gaffer tape. So I just flick them all around and stop it.
I don't live in Hull anymore. I moved to London because I was sick of having a spare room and a garden. Get me to London. I moved to London. I told my mum I was moving to London, and I thought she'd be like, Amy, I'm so proud of you. You're following your dreams. It's like a film. She didn't. My mum looked at me and she said, oh, Amy, why? Oh, Amy, why? And I thought, I wonder what her problem is with London. Is it the cost? Is it the crime? No, my mum had one problem, and one problem only with London. She looked at me and she went, Amy, they all walk so fast. They all walk so fast. Where are they going at such a speed? Jobs. Yeah, they got jobs down there, Mum. It's pretty cool. Where are you from?
Camberwell.
Camberwell? Are you really? Oh, my God. I had the worst gig of my life in Camberwell. I didn't really. It was Wigan, but segways are hard. Okay. So I was once doing this gig in Camberwell. I wasn't. I've literally never been. And I was doing this gig in Camberwell, and it wasn't nice like this, right? It was the sort of gig that you dread as a comedian. So the gigs you dread are when you get to the stage, you look out, and the first 5 or 6 rows of the audience are all bald men with their arms folded. And honestly, from the stage, it looks like you've opened a box of eggs. It does, and you think, oh no, it's an egg gig. And egg gigs are tricky, right? Because I tell you what, eggs love a heckle. And at this one gig in Camberwell, it wasn't, this egg heckled me before I'd even said anything, right? So I get to the mic, and this egg shouted something just off the top of his shiny head. And it was so funny and so witty, I thought I should share it with you tonight, right? So I get to the mic, and quick as a flash, he goes like this. Tits! You've got tits! It's like, wow, how did he think of that? And I thought, maybe he's trying to warn me. maybe he sat there thinking, oh, she doesn't know. I should tell her. She'll kick herself when she realises how embarrassing to come out with tits. And it's hard when stuff like that happens, you know, because I'm trying to be taken seriously as a comedian. And I think we all know in this lovely liberal city, we all know in 2024, the funny's here. It's not here. We all know, don't we? There's nothing funny. Please, come on. We all know, don't we? There's nothing Apollo. We all know, don't we? There's nothing funny about... It's just sexist. Immature. It's just really silly, isn't it?
We've got the dragons. We've got a couple of dragons over here. Well, there's Deborah. Hello, Deborah. And Kelly. Hello again. Look at this. Do you watch Dragons Den? It's a great show. I love it. I love it. It's nice to know that even though they're multimillionaires, they don't mind a free ticket for something. I like that. Respect that. That's how you stay rich. We've got Danny as well. Where's Danny Kerr? Give us away. There he is. Danny Kerr from the England rugby team. Lovely stuff. They said to me, oh, we put some celebrities at the front, you know, for you to take the mickey out of. I said, oh, lovely, who's there? He said, Danny Kerr for the England rugby team. I went, yeah, I'll pick on him. Yeah, great. And we've got Heidi. Where's Heidi as well? We've got Heidi over there. Hello, Heidi. Heidi, you'll remember from the Sugar Babes, of course. You were always my favourite Sugar Babe, which is saying something, because there was about 240, if I recall. At one point, they were Britain's third biggest employer, after Tesco and the NHS. Applause to our celebrities for joining in. I've got twin daughters. My twin daughters are 5. I was in Scunthorpe one night. I'm not showing off. I get to some nice places. And I confused a woman with it. I was on stage. I said, has anyone else got twins? A woman went, yeah, I have. I said, lovely, how old are they? She went, 5 and 6. I was like, what's wrong with you? How have you done that? There's a weird moment with twins. When they get to about 2, you just start to hate people with 1 kid. You see them in the park, you're like, oh, you're right there with your spare hand, yeah? They love getting up early, my kids. My God. 5:45 every morning, no matter how much stuff I put in front of their door. Daddy! Look, I don't love you till 8, okay? That's how my brain works. I mean 8 a.m, not the age of 8, that'd be a bit harsh, wouldn't it? 3 more years, you get hugged now. Go on, get out. Get out in the garden where you live. It's hard. Don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful, beautiful moments with children. There's some great moments. This happened recently, right? There's a moment with your children where you look at them, and it seems obvious, right? It seems obvious, but there's a moment you look at them and they do something so like you that you realise for the first time, this little human is just a mini version of you. You've created a mini version of you, and it's magical, and it sounds obvious, but when it happens, it's brilliant. I was in the park with my daughter. She's 5 years old, and we're in the toddler park near the house. And it's got one of those toddler swings where, you know, the ones where you put your legs through, the kids put the legs through, not the normal swing that anyone can go on. And we're stood next to the swing, and there's a girl trying to get on the swing. She's about 14. She shouldn't even be in the toddler park. She's quite a big girl, right? Just, you know what I mean, like a big girl, right? She's fat, right? I don't want to say that, but she's fat. Anyway, she was trying to get in the toddler swing. And it was a bit annoying, but, you know, we're British and we queued and waited. And I said to my daughter, I said, sweetheart, do you want me to ask this girl to get off the swing? She's showing off to her friends in the corner, this girl. And my daughter assessed the situation. She saw the big girl trying to get in the tiny swing. And she said, no, Daddy, I'd like to see what happens.
Anyway, we finally get in. My son looks around, flatly refuses to get into the dentist chair. So, of course, I think, well, I've got to lead by example now. I've got to be a role model. So I said to him, well, look, how about if I sit in the dentist chair first, and then you'll see there's nothing to worry about, all right? He agrees to this. And I said, then you'll do it, won't you? Yeah, okay. So I, wink, wink at the dentist. This is not a fucking appointment, pal. Dentist is looking at my teeth. He puts the bib on me, the sunglasses. Yeah, sunglasses at the dentist? At your dentist? What is that? That's a great little trick, that one is. What are they? You made to think you're at the beach or something? Well, you're sunbathing. Oh, relax. Look, the sun is out. There are 4 of them, but they're out. Oh, you clever man. I forgot I had a Black & Decker in my mouth for a minute there. It was incredible what you did. You tricked me with the sunglasses. Anyway, he's looking at my teeth. And then he goes, oh, actually, there is something I can do for you here, Mr. D. And without any warning, gets the drill, straight in. They always do a couple like that just before they do it. They know it bloody works. They're trying to shit you up. That's what's going on. Start drilling, goes straight into a root canal up here. I'm feeling the kind of pain that I didn't know could exist. I'm just trying to diffuse the pain through the arms of the chair. I'm just going, blood coming off the ceiling. My son runs out into reception. It's a total disaster. I didn't get a bravery sticker. The whole thing has gone wrong. Well, who likes to go to the dentist? You wouldn't. From the moment you get there, they put that little vacuum cleaner in your mouth and, oh, God, they stick that thing in your mouth. It sucks all the saliva out. It always reminds me of my first girlfriend. And I'm always anxious they're going to flick it onto blow by mistake. I'm going to end up with a mouthful of the previous guy's phlegm. I'll be there like some human volcano in my foster grants full of slum. Bits of tooth I'm spitting out all day. It's not mine! I never wore a brace! It is an odd thing, though, at the dentist, how you look forward to the pink drink. Once you're there, having this stuff done, you begin to think, see that pink drink? That's mine. At the end of all this, I get the pink drink. It's going to be worthwhile. That little plastic cup with the pink drink in, it's mine. You look forward to the pink drink. He's doing what he wants. He's tinkering around with his little craft set inside your mouth. Doing what he wants, injecting the injection, how unnatural is that? An injection in the mouth. Oh, it'll just feel like a little scratch. So what do you say? It'll just feel like a little scratch. And then after about 10 minutes, it'll feel like you've had a stroke. I'm lying there, my upper body is going numb. And I'm thinking, in a minute, I got a pink drink. You find yourself looking forward to those words you can swell. Oh, thank you very much. I actually think that is the dentist's secret pleasure, to see you in that state. Look at you, you dribbling baby. You have no idea how much I hate humans.
In a city fraternity, it was a long time ago and the slangs have changed. There were so many colloquialisms for dispossessing people of their personal effects without their consent. Yes, I was in the property reacquisition sector of our organization. And every now and then I dabbled in some urban pharmacy. Yeah. I'm Nigerian, so I also tried out some freestyle accounting. No, like I was saying, obviously, there was loads of slangs for robbing people in it. But the most popular slang at the time in South was suck. Yeah, you can imagine when I found out, I was in the park with the man then. And our leader, Gasman, I mean, you can't be out here robbing people with a name like Charles. So Gasman it was. Gasman was a very serious fellow. He said, and I quote, he spotted some ops. That means opposition. He said, yo, man them. And then we assembled and formed Mandematron. Say, yo, you see them ops there, cuz? You see them ops? We're like, yeah, blood, man sees them, man sees them. We see them, blood, we see them, blood. Said, yeah, can't we go suck those boys for their shoes? And the rest of them were getting up like, yeah, I'm on this thing. I'm like, wait, no. My brother, no. I need to see the small print. I said, excuse me, Mr. Can I call you Mr. Gasman? Now, if for the life of me, I could have sworn you just instructed us to, said, yeah, blood, you heard, man. That's the motive today. That's the prime objective. Today, we're sucking man blood, yeah? We suck man for their shoes, their watches, their chains, their cash. Anybody coming through that gate that's not in our gang is getting sucked. Mercilessly. I said, bro, I'm not involved. He said, either you suck man or man suck you. I said, whoa. Can we talk? I said, brother, why? Why, my brother? Why are you doing this? And he gets philosophical. He said, it's all I know. It's how I survive on the roads. I didn't choose to suck man. Sucking man chose man. I said, is this why you have a gang? He said, what? No, I don't need a gang to suck man. I suck 3-4 man by myself. Ask all them boys at the estate. I sucked all of them, bro. Listen, I even sucked this boy in front of his dad. In front of his dad, he said, yeah. I said, what did his dad do? He said, his dad didn't do nothing. Because he did one false move, he gets sucked too, rude boy. I said, my God, this man is prolific. He's a big man. I don't know fear, you know. I don't care how big a man is. How hard man is. I'll look man in the eye and suck man, fam. Are you mad? I said to him, bro, you are broke. I am also broke. This is my last £5. Take it. Wallahi, you need it more than me. Foot Locker is still hiring up. In fact, do you want me to make your CV? We can go together. He said, no, I don't suck man for minimum wage. Man's got aspirations.
A lot of people know that I used to be a bouncer, which if you didn't know, I imagine that's come as quite a surprise. What? I was. Problem is, I still look like a bouncer. There's about 12 of you in here that showed me your tickets, and people still treat me like a bouncer. I went out a little while ago for a drink. I'm in the bar's hot, so I went outside, get some air, send a text message. So I wasn't stood there very long. I looked up from my phone and a queue had formed. That's the kind of... I had to learn how to be a bouncer while being a bouncer, which is like the worst place to learn how to do that job, especially when people think you can fight. I accidentally got a reputation that I could fight. I was 19, it was in my local bar, and I was drunk. I was really drunk. I'd had like 50 beers. I had 3. You know I had 3. Because I realised about that line, like, as you get older, you think that line's going to stop. It doesn't. It just changes. Like, do you remember being 19 and you go out drinking with your friends and you have like 3 Budweisers and you're comatose, but your friend says, how many drinks you have last night? You're like, 50. Then you get into your mid-30s and you actually go day drinking and consume 50 pints and then come home and like throw up on a cat and go to the toilet in the cupboard. But the moment your partner says to you, how many drinks did you have last night? You're like, 2. I think that second one was a bad one. I was really drunk. I was that level of drunk where I've now gone to the toilet and now I can't stop going to the toilet. Like, have you ever been that drunk? You've broken the seal, and now you can't stop pissing. It doesn't even look like piss anymore, does it? It's so clear. It doesn't it? It doesn't look. Have you ever had that drunk thought where you're like, taste it? No, me neither. I haven't unless you have. I haven't with you. Right, that's disgusting. Why would you bring that up? I haven't. I was really drunk, and a fight kicked off. This guy threw a drink in this lady's face, and then he punched a bouncer and tried to run out of the club. And as he's gone to run out, I've gone to lean on the bar because I need a nap. And he tripped over my leg and hit his face on the bar, knocked himself clean out. Now, I'm stood over this dude. And I'll be honest, I was just trying to figure out if I was in the toilet yet or not. And I stood over this guy, and the owner of the bar came up and he shook my hand. And he said, "Well done." I was like, Then the barmaid came over and she went, "Yeah, look at him, and he's pissed himself." I was like, yeah, he's... Yeah, he's definitely did that. There's a lot of misconceptions about bouncers as well. People think we know a lot more about star signs than we really do. Like, we don't. We just know that's how to catch you out. Because I don't know, but I also know neither do you. And you always know who in the queue to pick because you can see them practicing. We've all done it outside clubs when you're waiting to go in, going 3rd of the 8th, 94, 3rd of the 8th, 94. Then they get to the front and they're confident. They hand their ID and you go, "Date of birth, please." You go, 3rd of the 8th, 94. You go, "What's your star sign?"
My parents came to this country as refugees, right? Refugees, right? That's always a bit of a contentious topic. Whenever you mention it in this country, right? The refugee crisis. But it's like, guys, nobody's coming over here because they like the idea of Nando's and a Wetherspoons, right? Nobody's coming over here on a dingy little burger going, "Oh, I wonder what All Bar One is like." Yeah? You know, the funniest part of that whole thing, right, is we call ourselves Great Britain, and then get surprised when people turn up to see how great it really is. Guys, there's an adjective in the name. No other country on earth has that. You don't have bang in Bangladesh. Do you know what I mean? Like... Now, my parents came over here, they came over here for a safer life back in 1990 as refugees. My dad was part of the resistance fighting against Saddam Hussein's regime, so they came over here for a safer life. They were fleeing war and persecution, came over here for a safer life and ended up moving to Brixton, South London, right? Yeah, not this new Brixton, yeah? We've got hipsters walking around going, "Oh my God, I love the reggae." Look at your delightful colours, Ja Rastafari, indeed, yeah. I'm talking Brixton in the 90s where you could buy weed in a patty in the same building, right? The kind of place that was just littered with £1 shops. Like, you go in there for, like, sellotape, but somehow you end up leaving with chocolate, shower gel, and a brand new identity, It's changed now, though, man. It's not as rough as it used to be. I knew my area changed when we got a Starbucks. Because I thought to myself, the last thing gangsters on council estates were crying out for was caramel frappuccinos, right? I just want to see how that conversation would happen. One of these guys walking in there like, yeah. Obviously. Because everything's obvious to these guys, right? Apart from the law. He's looking at the menu. You can imagine his confusion when he sees the word panini. Okay, there's a panani in here, okay. My kind of coffee shop, yeah. He can't even pronounce what he wants. He's there looking at the menu like, yeah. Can I get a... Flip it. Just give me one of them things there, boss, yeah? And the guy behind the counter's really excited. Certainly, sir. What size would you like? Yeah, get me a large, innit? Because I'm living large, you get me? Make sure you spell my name correctly, though, yeah? It's killer with an A, not E-R. Now, I realised my area had properly changed, right, when I was in Lidl, right? No, because, you know, I love Lidl, I even love the way Lidl sounds, like Lidl, you know? Lidl, because it sounds like what a German would reply if you asked him what the price was, you know what I mean? Like, it's only a little, do you know what I mean? Like, I was in there, right, and I saw these two hipsters, right, and one said to the other one, no, Hugo, don't get the sliced bread, we'll go and get some sourdough from elsewhere. I was like, who are these monsters, bro? Yeah? I think they're too good for sliced bread, right? Sliced bread is so good, we use it as a measurement to describe how good other things are in this country, Hugo. And is that not good enough for you? Get out of my country right now, Hugo.
I've got the memory of an elephant. I remember one time I went to the zoo and saw an elephant. I was disappointed to find that Dunkirk wasn't actually a biography of William Shatner. I accidentally kicked my dog early and it bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no, if anything, it's even more angry. I tell you what always catches my eye, short people with umbrellas. I put on a lot of weight, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency, can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can, we got loads of them. I was actually thrown out of Weight Watchers for making sarcastic comments at the weekly weigh-in. As you can imagine, I accepted the decision with huge grace, because they threw her out as well. I was watching TV, the announcer said there's a documentary about the clitoris on the red button, but I couldn't find it. I was in a fancy lingerie shop. I said, are these knickers satin? He said, no, they're new. I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. Apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. It's been a tough week. I got myself a memory foam mattress, and now it's trying to blackmail me. As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. You would be. And it was half empty. The area in a Nando's between the front and back door is called the peri-perineum. What I like most about that joke is that people who know what a perineum is usually haven't heard of Nando's. Ironically, there's only a very small overlap between the two. The doctor told me to lose some weight. I said, how? He said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what, pies, chips, that sort of thing? He said, no, just don't eat anything fatty. Old lady names are very much back in fashion at the minute, like Lily or Elsie or Rose, and we wanted something like that for our daughter, but we couldn't decide, so in the end we just called her Nan. So we should grow into it.
So I'm Jack. I live in London quite locally. I'm quite posh, as probably most of you have already gauged. Don't need shit for it, though. You get quite a lot of stick for being posh, but you know, it's like I always say, sticks and stones may break my bones. But whatever, I'm with Booper. I am posh. I'm not like right wing though. Not prejudice. Not homophobic. Well, I guess I'm homophobic in the same sense that I'm arachnophobic. I'm not scared of spiders. I'm not scared of gays. Though I would probably scream if I saw one in my bath. I'm young. I'm not like one of the, your regular youth, I guess. Because people are afraid of young people now, aren't they? And I'm afraid of young people as well. But I forget what I'm meant to be afraid of. Because it seems to change with young people. If you read the tabloids, like 1 minute you get it's the young people because it's like knife crime and gun crime, hoodies, ASBOs, they're going to stab you, all of that stuff. Next minute, they're all fat and they're overweight and it's the obesity epidemic. And I'm confused. I don't know what I'm meant to be scared of anymore. I'm worried to walk down the street lest I'm attacked by a fat kid with a knife and a fork. I want to stay fit. I want to be good at things like fitness and health. I want to be healthy. But I've never been good at it, you know? Even when I was at school, I hated PE. I hated PE so much at school. Mainly because of my PE teacher. He was a complete arsehole. His name was Mr. Walton. He was from South Africa. And he was a lumbering hulk of protein shake and unresolved childhood issues, which he took out on me every week. He was horrible to me. He humiliated me every lesson, right? And I remember one class, right, okay? He tried to get us to do a bleep test, which I refused to do because we weren't living in Nazi Germany. Ironically, an environment in which he would have thrived. And he was shouting at me, pushing me, trying to embarrass me and humiliate me. I'm quite a sensitive soul. I couldn't hack it. Eventually, I flipped. He was like, go on, Jack, push yourself now. Embrace the burn. Look at my body, Jack. How do you think I got to where I am today? I don't know. Oppressing black people. He thought he was a motivator. He thought the stuff that he was saying was inspirational to the children. It wasn't. It was psychotic. And it never made any sense as well. I remember once, right, we were playing basketball and just in the middle of the game, he blew his whistle and in front of everyone just shouted at me, the problem with you, Jack, is you're all fart on their poo. Well, when I fart, I follow through and sometimes there's blood. But I tried at school, I just could never do very well. But I always think, right, if you weren't very good at school, there's always one thing that everyone that wasn't good at school can hold on to. And we need to hold on to this. And that is that at every school, all over the world, in every class, there was always that person that was better than everyone else, yeah? That got into all the sports teams, that was in the school play, that had a girlfriend. Mr. Perfect. You can hold on to the fact that, yeah, they were Mr. Perfect at school and everyone resented them and they were so great, but in later life, Mr. Perfect will have made his mistakes. He will have screwed things up. And now, with Facebook, you can find the bastard. You can hunt him down and look at his photographs and realise, yeah, you were Mr. Perfect at school, but now someone's put on a little bit of weight, now someone's lost their job and they're sleeping in the back of their car, so screw you, Robbie Westlake.
They know their wildlife over there in Australia, unbelievable. They have koala bears over there. They've so many of them. They've actually trained them to work in the cities. And get your guess, right? What job do you think koala bears do in Sydney at the moment? What job are they trained to do? Give me a guess. What's that? To be bears. They're kind of, doesn't take much training, Tracy, to be honest. Given it's already a bear, it really, unless you want to be a different kind, you're no koala, you're a grizzly. Get out there, go on, get out there, koala. Give me another guess. What do they train them to do? Koala bears. Cuddle. Cuddle is glorious. What a beautiful idea. They train them to work as professional cuddles. That's That's a fabulous idea. All over Sydney, there'd just be podiums sitting there with a koala on it, and you can walk up and go, I'm a bit down at the moment. And the koala will go, come here, come here. All right, now you shouldn't have now. Thanks very much. Brilliant suggestion. Give me one more suggestion. As phone sex operators. They train the koalas to work as phone sex, not actually just as operators, not actually to do the thing, but to go, I'll put you through now. Well, you sound like you need a bit of loving, do you? Well, there's a very strict woman on line 4. I'll give that to her, right? Because koalas are very good at that kind of notion like that. Or is it actually to talk to the customers? Oh, do you want to see what I'm wearing? I'm all furry and exciting, right? I'm the furriest little koala you've ever seen. I'm slipping out of the fur at the moment. Look at that. Do you like that? That's kind of sick. That's weird. What they actually train, the job they actually train koala bears to do in Sydney is to work as bicycle locks. You take the koala, you put him in the frame of the bicycle, his little hands reach around through the spokes of the wheel, and then he just holds on to the bicycle like that. The finest answer I ever received, though, was in a university in Dublin, and I said, what job do they train them to do? And a student there went, is it guides for the blind? And I said, well, surely they'd use dogs for that. And she said, not for walking, for climbing. It's a glorious notion. The dog would walk the blind person to the foot of the tree, at which point control would be handed over to the koala bear, who would then walk the blind person up past difficult clumps of branches and whatnot, till they got to the top, where presumably it would then describe the view to the blind person.
I'll tell you something. Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you what I saw the other day. This upset me, and I'm a pretty easygoing guy. You know what I saw? I saw an ambulance. Big sign on the back of the ambulance, on the back door. Do you know what it said? It said, this is an ambulance, not a taxi. This is an ambulance, not a taxi. I know, I can see. Don't worry, I can tell. I know it's not a taxi. You know how I know it's not a taxi? Because last time I called a taxi, it didn't take 3/4 of a fucking hour to arrive. That's how I know. While I'm on the subject, can I just ask, is it really strictly necessary in this day and age to have the word ambulance written back to front on the bonnet of the ambulance?
No, so if you see it in the rearview mirror, it says, I know why.
I know why. I'm just questioning it. See, my point is, if the blue flashing light and the big red cross hasn't done it for you, just a hunch, but I suspect the word ambulance is going to be lost on you as well. So I'd like to know if there had ever been anyone in the history of the automobile who was driving along, looks in their rearview mirror and goes, huh, what the heck's this? Who's this joker with his blue flashing light and big red cross behind me? Well, he's not getting past me. What does this say? Eculumbo? What does the hell that mean? Not getting out of his way. There's some pushy Danish furniture company behind me trying to get past me. You gotta watch it. You gotta. They're all at it. I saw a fire engine. Big sign on the back of the fire engine. You know what it said? It said, "Smoke alarms save lives." I thought, yeah, more like save you the bother of getting out of bed to put the fires out, you lazy bastards. You gotta watch it. AA vans. Well, Britain's 4th emergency service. Right, only in this country could coming forth be a boast. 4th, you say, my God, runner up to bronze. All the fun of taking part, none of the hassle of hanging around for a medal. Mountain Rescue, they're grumpy bastards, aren't they? So you helped me down from a hill. Blah, blah, blah. You have no right to criticise my footwear. I was wearing flip-flops that felt like a walk. Volunteer service, you see, Jack. Yeah, and don't you keep banging on about it. Listen, pal, you wanted to rescue people. I wanted rescuing. We both got what we wanted, so shut your face.
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, oh, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which is just change. Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? Come to... I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. The equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
Oh, we have a great show for you tonight. We have a fantastic show. Very funny comedians. I know funny. I do very funny. People always ask me who I think is funny. That's the number 2 question I get asked as a comedian. The number 1 question I get asked as a comedian is, have you ever died? As soon as you tell someone you're a comedian, the first thing they want to know, oh, you ever died? Or what's it like when no one laughs? Oh, tell us about the worst gig you've ever had in your life. Please, relive for me, in minute detail, the worst moment of your professional career. Have you ever really died? It's like saying to a doctor, tell us about the last patient you lost. What happened? With the family crying. I bet they were they? Yeah. People are such ghouls. It's the number one question. Have you ever died? Number two question, though, is what makes you laugh? People always want to know that from me. Who do you think is funny? And that's a nicer question. That's more understandable. You know, I make people laugh. People want to know what makes me laugh. In the same ways you might say to your hairdresser, who cuts your hair? Or you might say to someone in an Audi, who do you think drives like a cock? Same kind of thing. I like that joke. It's a short joke, it's a sharp joke, and also with that joke, I get to spot every Audi driver in the room. I can just see it there. Pinched expression on your face there. All right, no need to be like that about it. I've done well for myself. It's a very reliable machine. And the fact that I can tell you're an Audi driver by the expression on your face means technically you've just given a form of indication. So well done. Good for you. Who knew you could do it? Yeah. Have you ever died? Who do you think is funny? You always get asked the same questions. That's why I don't like doing interviews. I love doing this job. This is great. I love standing here talking to you, though. But doing interviews, it's a necessary evil. It's part of the job. I having to answer questions. And I don't even like watching interviews. You'd rather watch a comedian tell jokes than talk about how they wrote them. You'd rather watch a singer sing songs than talk about their inspiration. You'd rather watch a sports person do their sport. You'd certainly rather watch a sports person do their sport. Come on now. Sports interviews can be turgid affairs at best. And then I hit it with my foot. You mean you kicked it? If you like. They're really interesting. They're really, and I'm not slagging sports people. It takes a great deal of single-mindedness to excel at a sport to a point where people want to interview you about it. But sports people are famous because they're good at sport, not because they're good at talking about sport. That's why you find a sports person who is good at talking about sport, the BBC will cream their knickers over them. We found a woman. She used to ride horses. That's a sport. And she's quite lively and engaging and charismatic. Put her on absolutely everything! Do not let her out of your sight. Even people I'm a fan of. Andy Murray. I love Andy Murray. Britain should be very proud of Andy Murray. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon. He's Olympic gold medalist. And he put up with a lot of shit when he was named, 8th best in the world? Oh, you bloody loser, you. Done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon, he's Olympic gold medalist, and he's magnanimous in victory, he's humble in defeat. And he's a big comedy fan. He's been to see me live, I've met him, lovely bloke. But Jesus Christ. I cannot listen to him drone on one more time about how he won, stroke lost another tennis match. I can't do it. Well, then I hit it to him, and he hit it back to me, and I'm very good at tennis, but he is also very good at tennis. Some days I'm better at tennis than he is, but I think what's happened today was he was slightly better at tennis than I am, and that's maybe why he won the game of the tennis. For God's sake, man! I'm not very sporty, you can probably tell. I like hill walking. Doesn't really count as a sport. I like hill walking and camping. Proper camping, though. None of your glamping bullshit. Glamping. Derivation of the words glamorous and camping. Where you stay in a yurt, which is more expensive than a hotel. What is wrong with you? A lot of people don't realise yurt is a derivation of the words yura and twat. A lot of people don't realise that.
I've realised that the musician I want to be is the drummer from Coldplay. I want to be the drummer from Coldplay so badly because that dude is rich as shit and no one knows who the fuck he is. No one knows who the drummer from Coldplay is. He could be here and no one would know. It could be you, it could be you, it could be you. I'm not sure it's an Indian woman, but it could be. We don't know. I'm obsessed with the idea that this guy has the best life in the world. And I was telling my friend about this, and she tried to tell me something that she was trying to portray as a bad thing. Apparently, he loves Game of Thrones, so he said to HBO, can I be in Game of Thrones? And they were like, yeah, man, you're the drummer from Coldplay. You can do literally anything you want. We'll restart The Sopranos if that's something that will make you happy, right? Now, he's in Game of Thrones. Confession time, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but even I know the Red Wedding
is an important episode of Game of Thrones, right? He is in the Red Wedding. Guess what he is doing in the Red Wedding? He is the drummer in the wedding band. That is the extent to which this guy's anonymity is a borderline superpower. He is in the most famous episode of one of the most popular television shows in the world, doing the thing he is famous for, and no one noticed. That is Kaiser Soze shit. And my friend was telling me that she read a supposedly embarrassing story that one of the actors told. One of the actors said that when they were shooting the Red Wedding, he was making small talk with the extras, and he got round to the drummer from Coldplay and said, "Are you a full-time extra?" And the guy was like, "No, I'm a musician." So he said, to the drummer from Coldplay, "Have you played on anything I might have heard of?" To which the drummer from Coldplay was presumably like, "Have you heard of All Music?" Because I'm basically the drummer on All Music. And my friend tried to tell me this like this was a sad thing. She was like, "Oh, this guy's in Coldplay, but no one knows that he's in Coldplay. Isn't that sad?" No, because the problem with being in Coldplay is that people hate Coldplay. People hate Coldplay so much. And the people who hate Coldplay don't say things like, "Oh, it's not to my taste." They say things like this: "I hate Coldplay!" But what you mean when you say that is, "I hate Chris Martin." No one is angry with the drummer from Coldplay. No one has ever been like, "Oh, the drummer from Coldplay! He ruined my life!" And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, "Nish, why are you so obsessed with the drummer from Coldplay? There's 2 other people in that band. We don't know anything about them either." And you know what? You're right. There's a guitar player and a bassist in Coldplay. I wouldn't know them even if they were here. I assume it's you two, but only because he sat next to her and I spoke to her already. That's all I've got to go on at this point. They have the exact same life as the drummer, because I did a bit of research into this. Turns out Coldplay are one of those bands where they split the royalties equally. So they have the exact same life as the drummer, apart from one detail. They have the exact same life as the drummer. They have the same level of wealth, access, and anonymity. But crucially, the drummer is sat down. And that is the dream.
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. That doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. 1-1. I say increased. It's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that formed the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer, isn't it? Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half. because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. Be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
I just don't know how to relax. A friend of mine, when he wants to relax, he listens to a whale song. You know those tapes of whales singing, and they go... I think, firstly, they're not singing, are they? No, they're faxing. Really long fax. Like the one I asked my brother to send me. That time I ran out of toilet paper. Shops were shut. But also, they can't be relaxed. They've got to be the least relaxed animals on the planet, whales, haven't they? For starters, they're endangered. Is that relaxing? There's only 10 of you left. Fine! As long as I'm one of them. If I'm feeling a bit horny, I'll sellotape a couple of dolphins together. But not only are they endangered, they're the biggest animals on the planet, whales, aren't they? They're enormous. Me doing that doesn't really get across how big they are. They're massive. But they eat the smallest, don't they? Plankton and krill, tiny little creatures like that. Imagine you're a great big animal. You're starving hungry. You never get a good bite of anything. Never get a good... Oh, that was bloody lovely, that was. No, just all day long shoving tiny bits of food in the side of your mouth. Oh, I'm sick of these stupid little things. Oh. I like to think of it as Jeff Capes living on hundreds and thousands. He'd be furious, wouldn't he? I'm starving! And he'd be wandering around looking for whatever the individual of hundreds and thousands is. I don't know what you call them when you've only got one. You wouldn't call it a hundreds and thousand, would you? That's far too long a word for something that insignificant. Maybe they call it a one. And then maybe we've got two of them. You've got two ones. That's confusing, isn't it? Because they can't have always had hundreds and thousands of them. Surely in the early days, when they first started making them, they must have made a few, see what they were like. I mean, that's not good business sense, is it? You've got a new product, you don't just make hundreds of thousands! We're gonna be rich! Oh, you make a few more. I don't know. It's a mystery. In America, they don't call them hundreds and thousands, actually. They don't call them that. They call them sprinkles. And unfortunately, I found that out at a gig. And that was a tough night, I tell you. There's a guy in the front row going, hundreds and thousands what? Hundreds and thousands what? I said, no, it's not hundreds and thousands of anything. They're called that. It's a cake decoration. He said, we don't call them that. We call them sprinkles. So I said, all right. It's like Jeff Capes, right? Living on sprinkles. I thought I'd get him a second time. He said, who the hell's Jeff Capes? I said, he's a massive bloke. I said, strongest man in the world 3 years running. Loves his grub. He said, we don't call him that. We call him Luther Vandross. So I said, all right, it's like Luther Vandross living on sprinkles. But by that point, they'd forgotten about the whales. Why the hell would Luther Vandross eat sprinkles? He's a millionaire. He could have steak every day. You saying he's too dumb to go and find his own food? He's got to go around eating little bits of cakes? Are you racist, buddy? Is that your problem? So I just did a couple of knob gags and got off.
My housemate, he's weird, 35 years old, still draws a little line on his milk in marker pen to know where the level was. I think that's stupid, but I get my own back, I buy my own milk, and I use that to top his milk up just above the line. Just fucking with his head, slowly. He's confused, he's looking at it, he thinks the milk is growing. I have sat and watched him Google the phrase, does milk expand? I'm in there. And my side of the fridge, it's looking pretty good at the minute. I don't mean to brag so early on, but I've got goo puddings in there. Yeah, I'm doing all right. If you don't know what a goo pudding is, let me explain them to you. They're these posh little puddings. They come in a glass ramekin. You eat the pudding, then you wash out the ramekin, and you look at it, and you think to yourself, I'll do something with this. I'm going to do something with this ramekin. Tell you the first thing you do, you put it in a drawer with 25 other unused goo ramekins. I've got a drawer in my kitchen. It's got 10 goo ramekins and a packet of Imodium. I don't want to know what that is for. Anyone taking Imodium tonight? Wow, a lot of you. Horrible interval, I imagine. I think Imodium is the best medication. Stops you shitting yourself, but crucially, it's got some of the funniest potential side effects on the packet. If you look on the side of an Imodium packet, it says, if you take Imodium, you may suffer from a loss of libido. Like, oh, the diarrhea does that for me. Well, I'm not worrying about my sex drive when I'm shitting myself like this. What sort of psychopath is mid-diarrhea reading the words, lose my libido? No, thank you, then. I'm feeling pretty sexy and confident at the minute. Whoa. Going out tonight, might get lucky in between these frequent, horrendous toilet stops. I don't know. It's hard being a northerner living in London. That's my situation at the minute. I'm a northerner living in London. I get patronised all the time. People hear my accent, they assume I'm stupid, rather than getting to know me and working it out that way. And look, a lot of the time, they are right. I only found out 2 years ago that American people call aubergines eggplants. 2 years ago, I found that out. I found it out because I overheard 2 American people talking about eggplants, and my first thought was, these 2 absolute morons. An eggplant? I think they're trying to say chicken. An eggplant? You calling a cow a beef tree? What's wrong with you? Yep, hands up, I'm the idiot in that situation, fair enough.
I am what you call in show business a triple threat. I do comedy, and I do music, and I will cut you. Just joking, I probably won't. So it's so fantastic to be here today. I will be doing a little bit of music, so if you're a fan of NWA or Snoop Doggy Dogg, then I apologise. I'll be about 3 minutes. So this first song, this is about travelling on a train. Could you give me a cheer, Apollo, if you've ever been on a train before? About half. Okay, great. Lovely. Well, the half of you who cheered, that means you are my target demographic. Congratulations. So I'm going to sing this song. This is about the worst thing any of us can ever encounter on a train journey. Just before I sing it, I have had some problems at previous gigs, actually, so I just want to make something crystal clear. If you listen carefully, I'm not even saying the word Hindu. Just listen harder. Hindu on a train. Hindu on a train. Cowboy hats and penis cakes. Neck tattoos and big L plates. And voices like a foghorn in a drain. Hindu on a train. Groping every passing male. I suspect you've been to jail, and God willing, you might all go again. And although I have so many things to say to you, I'm aware that there are 6 of you, and all of you have had more fights than me. I've never glassed someone, but I do know how. Perhaps I'll glass you now. Hindu on a train. You brought your own speakers too, brilliant. To belt out Calvin Harris tunes. I mean, the maid of honor's clearly on cocaine. Hindu on a train. You see me staring and you threaten me. Then drunkenly you all set on me, and with a dick-shaped bottle take your aim. If you only knew, we're not so different, me and you. Just 3 months ago, my friends Hindu, we got drunk and we pretty much hijacked a plane. We were worse than you. We went down on all the crew. Reluctant gay men, some women too. We got thrown out of Spain. You see, we're all the same, but you're not listening, you're bashing out my brain. Hindu on a train.
When we first moved to our area, it was a bit shit, right? But it's got nice. It's got a little bit nicer. It's very slightly gentrified. So now everyone that owns their property, they go on Rightmove every day for a little wank. Like, ooh, let's have a little look at what our house is worth. Let's think of somewhere cheaper and put it in and see what we can get for it. Put it in somewhere shit, somewhere, I don't know, somewhere up north. Put that in. And then you're like, fucking hell, we could own Hull. Disgusting. It's very vulgar. So I've never lived anywhere nice before. It's been quite interesting watching it sort of change a little bit. Like, first off, there's little signs that you notice when a change is on the horizon. Like, first off, it's the availability of sourdough. Change a coming. And then it's the pub. It's always the pub. You've got to keep an eye on the pub. The pub changes. Like our old pub, it was a sort of working class pub. Old blokes in there, smoking roll-ups, buying and selling the odd gun, watching Sky Sports, right? But they've all had to go now. They've all been kicked out and the pub's been done up. It's all shabby chic. It's all been done a bit retro. And now, you know, there's like pictures on the wall, old Polaroid photographs of working class blokes smoking roll-ups, buying and selling guns, watching Sky Sports. And you can eat there. You can get food in the pub now. You can get a rustic frittata on a distressed camping plate. Or like pizza off a bin lid. It's great. tapas off a plank. Because gentrified people like to eat food from bits of shit in the shed, bits of crap that's sticking around in the garage. I've had soup out of a bedpan. No. I like it. You have to get a tetanus after you've had a meal, but it's nice. And parenting at Christmas time, I worry about my parenting. I don't know if I'm that good at it. I get into rows. I row with my kids. You shouldn't row with kids, should you? It's really frowned at. I said to my friend, I row with my kids. And she said, what do you mean you row with them? You mean you, like, tell them off? I said, no, because that would suggest status, wouldn't it? That would imply I've got some power in our relationship. But I don't seem to have any power. We're in the supermarket recently, getting all the shopping in. I'm quite harassed. I've got other things I need to be doing. One of them's like, no, we don't like pasta shells. We only like pasta bows. I'm like, it's the same. It's the same thing. All of the pastas are the same. The pipes and the bows and the shells and the twists. What are you looking at? I said, you don't give a toss about shape when it's chocolate, do you? It's not good. No, because there's no glory in winning a row with a child. Like, if you win a row with your mate, you then tell your other mate, don't you? And then you're like, and then I said, right? And then I said, you don't give a shit about shape when it's chocolate, do ya? And I said it to her face. It's like, oh, well done with your 6-year-old kid. Well done, Kel. And my son loves to play Snap. He loves to play Dinosaur Snap, and he hates to lose, because kids do, don't they? Kids hate losing games. You won't meet a kid that loses a game that's like, no, it's fine, best of 5, let's just go again. So I have to let him win, because I'm his mum, and I love him in a sort of oppressive, cloying way. So I have to let him win. He'll lose at things later in life when I can't control that for him, but for this game of Snap, I can let him win, can't I? But it turns out that my reflexes aren't as sentimental as me. So a diplodocus goes down, and then another diplodocus, and before I quite know what's happening, I'm like, snap! Snap! Ha!
Incredible to think, isn't it? But the Chinese language started off as English in England. Then one person whispered it to another person. Bit of a weird day today. I found a hole in the back of my wardrobe. I went through to a strange and mysterious land where my neighbour was sitting in the bath. What else can I tell you about myself? I like my tea, like my women. Big, black, and with a penguin. Obviously, I'm Caucasian. Yes, my mum's from a city in Ireland and my dad's Japanese. Couldn't sleep last night. I was too hot. Then the smoke alarm went off. Put it on snooze. Then the phone went off. Picked it up, a voice said, "Can you speak?" I said, "How did you think this conversation was going to work?" Then I recognized the voice of my mother, the very woman who taught me to speak in the first place. She said, "Listen, it's your dad." I said, "That is the worst impression." Do you ever have a conversation with someone and towards the end they say, "Well, I'll let you go"? You think, "Yeah, thanks." Oh, I see what you're saying. You're trying to make me think that you think that I've got better things to do. But in reality, you're saying that you've got better things to do. Well, next time someone says to you, I'll let you go, say, no. Shut the door. If they make a sudden dive for the window, grab them by their ankles. As they're dangling 4 stories over the car park, screaming, this has all been a terrible mistake. Say, okay, I'll let you go. So it turns out, not all horses are Trojan horses. I know that now. That was a messy afternoon. Health and safety, that's a minefield, isn't it? Don't tell them. I used to work in IKEA, selling over 7,000 different items. Give me a number between 1 and 7,000, I'll tell you about it. 8, sorry, out of stock. Well, it's not easy travelling around all the time, being on the road. Oh, no. The AA, RAC, green flag, don't get me started.